Okay, I'm trying to get some videos together here, and I keep getting copyright strikes on anything that I play. One day I'm playing something, background music, and everything's fine. It goes through a few days, so I think I got a soundtrack. This is how it's been going on like this for years. It's all a distraction, huge waste of my fucking time. But I still took advantage of it, and I've been doing videos on the moon videos that I'm doing, photographs, video. Right now, I got a computer set up over there. I got the photograph of the moon here. I got my moon board over there that I will use normally, but this is something new that I'm doing because I'm finding the timelines, and I've known about the timelines for a long time. I'm reconfirming them more than anything, finding more of them, figuring out which timelines are counting for seconds, minutes, days, weeks, months, years, centuries, all that kind of shit. Doing pretty damn good. One of the things I've been explaining to you guys is that to anybody that comes along, but who knows, the videos could have been deleted by now. So I'll just keep explaining these things as I find them. As the moon is going around in our sky in a clockwise rotation, because it does not do any spinny ball shit that they tell you that it does. It goes around in a clockwise rotation around the Earth. More like a geocentric model, but not exactly a geocentric model either. Because the geocentric model was too wrong about too many things. The lies had already begun. So right now, what I want to point out to you, I'm going to put the camera on here. I'm going to play some of Richard's videos, because what I'm finding about Richard is Richard's definitely sold out. He's not with me. He was with me way back here in his videos. He was when I first started making the series to him. It was right around here somewhere, so I used a lot of these videos in order to do so. Then if you notice, we start going here, and after you've listened to my videos and listened to me talking like the way that I do, this weird thing that I do where I talk to the people directly, because I know they're going to get the message. I know they're getting the message. No way somebody puts out a 200-300 part series to you and you don't go look. So I know that don't happen. Besides that, there's other reasons why I'm positive, no doubt in my mind, that Richard has come to these messages. So I'm looking at all the videos. A lot of them I can't even play. Some of them, like, I think it's not, is it that? It's the law. No, it's not that one. There's one in here I'll play for you. She's so fucking whiz-bangy. Some of these guys are all right. Some of these guys I like. I like that guy David. But they're all looking for what I'm trying to show you guys. According to them, anyways. They're looking for the answers, their meaning to life, what's it all about, this and that. I'm not fucking telling anybody what it's all about. I'm showing you what it's all about. I'm showing you. You can see it with your own eyes, all right? Okay, we're going to listen to This Land, because in this one particular video, he starts talking weird shit all down in here. But in these videos already ahead of time. But I want to play this one today, because one of the things that I said to him is that don't use any mainstream lingo, because it's all CIA run. I'm sure that he's probably run by the CIA as well, Richard. I'll talk to you directly. Obviously, you're connected. You're one of these entertainers. That was a question always. Anyway, seeing that you came from BBC and all this kind of shit. So, anyways, I'm just gonna play in the background. I'm gonna try to come up with some music that I can make a soundtrack to use to show you guys, to anyone else coming to my channel that's actually interested in what I'm showing you. And it doesn't matter whether I'm remastering cloud videos, whether I'm going in on rocks and stones, whether I'm going in on the moon. They're just copywriting the shit out of me. I must put up, and then you got to remember, my videos get deleted on my cell phone while I'm making them. If I'm lucky enough to get them made and get them start downloading, sometimes they get deleted during the download. Then if they're lucky enough to go up on the download, then sometimes while they're already up, because there's other people that own my channel. I don't really own my channel. I'm just doing what I can. But obviously other people go in there and they delete the videos when they're up. Then there's another group, or maybe the same group, I don't know. But sometimes when I forget about videos, so if time goes by, all of a sudden I turn around and I look and a bunch, hey, I didn't delete this video. Hey, I didn't delete that video. They're just all of a sudden deleted. So there's all this weird shit that goes on. I don't talk about it. It's a waste of my fucking time. It's a distraction, just like these guys are. They're all distractions from showing you guys the true creator's work. You're missing it all. I'm going to try again, this video hopefully will not get any copyright strikes, and I'll be able to leave it up. The reason why I've got this one on a turn and this one's not turning, this is the same moon photograph, by the way, printed up on from the computer, printed up here, right? Because I download them. You can all do this. This is not a me thing. This is an everybody thing. Okay, so I'm going to add a filter to the camera. I'll let you know when I do. What I'm doing is I'm running them because I can show you the false creator / creators clock. I found all the time, not all the timelines, but I found the timelines and I realized how they are working. So what I've been telling you guys all along is that as this moon is turning through our sky, it's taking the energy from the stationary stars. The energy comes down through the moon and down through the earth and down through another moon and back through into the stationary stars. So the energy comes from both sides. This is not guesswork. This is not fucking bullshit anymore. This is all fucking games are over. We're going to see the real true creator soon. Everyone's going to open their eyes now, and we're all going to get to see it. Nothing scary about it. There's no fear factor here. The fear factor is the fucking human scum that are running the fucking show on a human level. Not the true creator, false creator / creator. They're not bothering anybody. They're not fucking anyone over. It's the humans that are doing that. As the energy comes down through the moon, as this moon's turning through our sky in a clockwise rotation, and there you are down on the earth being ready to be born. So the energy is assigned. So again, the energy comes down. Now again, stationary stars. The wandering stars are all out here doing their own thing. They got their own jobs. I'll explain it on another video because I'm working on the timelines right now. I'm not going back to that shit. So the energy comes down through the moon. As the moon's turning, the earth doesn't turn. The earth doesn't move. Do you feel yourself moving, people? No, you don't. It was all a ridiculous fucking lie, and we bought into it. The bigger the lie, the harder it is for everybody to realize that it's a fucking lie. I don't know. The 7.8 billion zombie slaves just want to prove that their intelligence is beyond... I don't know. But there's no reason to lie to yourselves anymore. Moon map model. The earth that we walk on, it does not move. This moves, all this moves, all that moves. This does not move. Anyways, as the energy is coming down through the moon and going around in a clockwise rotation on the earth, then as those energies are assigned, that's why we see the moon crescenting. That's why we see we know now because we found the fucking timelines. We found the timelines now. We know all the I know all the large timelines in the moon. We can work them out. We can see them. We can see what imagery they're cropping out. And that's what we should be going by in order to know the timelines. So your fact that you all celebrate your birthdays, and me too. I don't like to disclude myself like I'm something special and I didn't fall for it all these years. Of course I did. I'm fucking the same zombie slave as everyone else. Bunch of fucking idiots. Geniuses, I mean. I'm sorry, geniuses we like to be called. Anyways, so I'm gonna line this camera up like this because I'm really fucking aggravated, obviously. Let's just listen to Richard. Bullshit. So what I'm gonna be doing is, as the one on the left is going around, I'm gonna let you decide. You, the viewer, you, the fucking viewer, are gonna be involved. Isn't that amazing?
I'm recording this on Easter Sunday.
Okay.
So happy Easter to everyone.
So I want you to tell me
on the same day.
When we got a lock, when we got a connection. Okay, so the one on the right, the moon photo that's on the computer is on the right. Okay, and then the one that's a photograph printed on paper with a laminate. Yeah, it does have a laminate. The one on the left has a laminate. That's why I get the shine. That's why I get a magnification that already happens from the laminate being on there compared to being just paper. I'll tell you all my secrets because they're not even secrets. They're all shit that everyone should have known. Alright, so I'm going to bring this over here because I know how to work my shadows and lights a little better. And I'm going to throw a little bit of glare down at the bottom so you'll miss some imagery. But what I'm learning is it's much better to have the glare in there and let everybody see what's coming around in a more clear fashion. Because you'll notice like up top here, it's not as clear for you. It's not as... shiny, glossy, detailed. But down here, when you bring the light around and they start cropping with the light, you see the detail in there better, right? You see all the fucking details. It's all about the lights and shadows. As I've been saying from the beginning, this is no different than the clouds, the trees, the rocks, the stones, or anything else that I've been telling you guys about. So maybe I'll come somewhere around here with my glare.
Now we all know
Because I don't really care about the glare on the screen.
countries are being attacked by globalists who,
Maybe here even.
for whatever odd.
Okay, so I'm in a good position to do this little experiment with you. Let's listen. Oh, sorry, David. Let's see what you got to say. So in this video here, David mentions a lot of shit that I call them mineral streets. I don't call them what he calls them. If you call them what he's calling them, then you're obviously CIA connected. You're a fucking sellout, and that's it. Just same thing that I'm telling you about the heliocentric model and the geocentric model. If you're out there spouting out flat Earth bullshit, just like he's doing, he's doing it on the negative. But no matter how you put it out there, it's always going to be on a negative. That's why I don't use the word all the words, any of the words that they use, because they hand us those words, they give us those words. So this way, it's all set up for everybody to ridicule and laugh at you and turn their attention away, and they're not going to look at what you're showing them. It's all purposeful, and it fucking pisses me off to no end. I feel like I'm fucking spinning my wheels, man.
I'm recording this on Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to everybody if you're watching on the same day. I'm an Englishman. I love my country. I've mentioned this before in videos to say that my parents are English and my grandparents are English, and I'm very much connected to this land, and I love it. As an Englishman, I think it's absolutely important and vital to keep this country, to hold on to it as a nation, to plant the flag. And anybody who's watched my...
Yeah, and you're holding on to, what you want to hold on to, is a bunch of fucking lies. So you were happy to go along with all those lies that you've been living with, you've been living with those lies for fucking hundreds of years, and you're happy with those lies. But now that they're bringing all these new lies that you supposedly don't like, you're supposedly telling everybody, oh no, we don't like this 15 minutes. I could see you selling out real fucking quick because you were already starting to. Oh, maybe it won't be so bad if 15-minute cities. If they give us this and give us that, you're a really good slave. You're a good slave. And you're going to go right along with them. You know more than a slave, Richard. You know more than a slave. So don't think that because you're selling out to these people and that you're going along with them that you're not a slave. You're just higher up the chain slave. Maybe you're not even one of the fucking 10,000 that gets to go into a bunker when they fucking throw their penises around. You don't even get to do that. So you're not even one of them 10,000. But you're obviously a fucking slave to the system. And the fake system. The system that got to go.
My videos for any length of time, not just in the recent months, but going back a couple of years or more, will know that I've been exploring Englishness and England, the landscape, the heritage, the nature of this incredible land. And of course, its associate countries next to it, the Wales and Scotland and Ireland and Northern Ireland, they're all wonderful and fascinating places. And I think the geology is what makes it what it is, the history, of course, the culture, the traditions, the customs, and even the weather. It is a fact.
So as this moon is going around in a clockwise rotation around us, what's happening is, might have to do it from the other side because of the lights. Yeah. So what's happening is that all these timelines are being used as it's going around, and we start seeing the moon's crescents come in, and it's lining up these timelines so that certain images are perfectly cropped out for us using the shadows. But at the same time, they're also perfectly cropped out for us using the light. That's why I've been showing you guys, not even knowing why I was showing you. I was just saying since the almost beginning of all this that watch when you take videos of the moon in your telescope, let it go light to light I'm the only one still doing that. After 6 years, I'm the only one out there that's still doing that. People think it's a waste of time. Ah, the camera's bouncing around, the lights fucking flashing, blah blah. Who cares? Once the camera settles down, watch slowly the moon come into view. Because what it's doing is it's allowing the light to crop the fucking images for you perfectly. So you have two different ways of cropping happening with the shadow, which is, if I have it over here, I'll show it to you. It's another carbon layer. It's just another carbon layer that the false creator slash creator uses in his build, and with the moon and the sun to show us things, time, schedules, that kind of thing. I'm I'm certain that once we get the rest of the timelines figured out, because I haven't got it all figured out. There's a lot of timelines in the moon, and I can't spend all my time doing this. All right, my moon started rubbing on my thing here. Hold on a minute. All right. So, anyways, I had to fix that. All right, so let me make sure it's still moving. Yeah, it is. All right, so here's the timeline, right? Here's an obvious one for you. Like, see all these lines coming out of the Sea of Tranquility? There's one right there, but you're not seeing any imagery there because you're not learning the imagery that makes up the moon. So I am. So I can take all these timelines, just the large ones. There's so many of them in there, but just the large ones. There's one right there. So you don't even know what it works because I'd have to point out the imagery for you first in order to know. There's another large one right here. I'd have to point out the imagery to you. Another one right there. Another one right there. Another one right there. Another large one right there. Another large one right there. These fucking timelines are telling us everything. And all I keep going through every time I'm bringing people this. I mean, come on, man. Look at the fucking people that I've called out. Harold Kotz. Harold Kotz has not come to this yet and blown everybody away with his findings. No, he's stuck on the fucking shit that he went to school for. So he's stuck in the physics. He's stuck in all the science, and which is all bullshit. It's all lies because they brought zero and infinity in. So that alone makes it. Yeah, fuck you, you fucking stupid thing. So, anyways, what the fuck am I even talking about now? Trying to get this moon back in here. Hold on, I gotta get a little closer. So as this moon's going around, it's going click, 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 click. Now there are actually, because of the zeros, because they added the zeros, it makes it even more complicated for a dish shit like myself to figure all this out. But there are all these geniuses out there, you guys, anybody fucking coming to my channel, you guys should know all this shit already, you know, so I don't understand why no one else is just coming in and going for it all. It's really weird. Um, so over here, there's all these little lines that are in between every image. There's deep down small imagery. I bring it to you guys into you guys all the time. When you go over to the Michael Oziak channel, I've got fucking 20 videos talking. I didn't know what they belonged to. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was up. I knew something was going on with the timelines. And the reason why I give the credit to Wolfie is because I was using the triangular stuff, and it wasn't really showing me the cropping tools. I was making triangular, thinking that the builders are triangular, and I like to be an asshole, so I'm shoving it in their face. But once I started bringing in these kind of cropping tools with it, then all of a sudden they started fitting certain timelines. Not all of them, but certain ones. And then that's why if you look at the shape of it, I have it shaped so that I can go in on a timeline that's that shape, and then if I move my cropper down, I got a timeline that's a little more straight. I can go right into the bends, and that's also why I made this timeline cropper, because this one goes the opposite direction because I started noticing those ones as well. I started noticing those timelines. I don't know if they ever crop that way, but I know that they cut out the imagery. So if in fact, as I've been checking all it, and that's one of the reasons, by the way, and look at, watch me bring my light back in. Look at the imagery. It's fucking beautiful, right? Just like the clouds, just like the trees, just like everything else. Anyone can do this. This is for everyone. This is not a me thing. There's another one of my... This is the timeline, just to let you know. That's the timeline that I been real big on for the last 2 3 weeks is this one right here, and then it goes out to this one, so you can see all the imagery in there. I can fuck with my lights better if I wanted to, but see that line? I'm gonna go right to it before it gets too much glare. Bink, right there. I'm not really on it because I don't have the right shape, but that was why this shape came in, because I wanted those timelines. I wanted to see what this was all about, and that's where I started, and then I started working my way through. I actually was supposed to start in the Sea of Tranquility and follow him around that way, but that got a little bit boring for me because I knew I wasn't going to be able to show anybody else. No one else will even look into the imagery in the Sea of Tranquility. So I kind of force it on everyone by doing the way that I do it. Let's see, I'm going to put this here, I think, for a while. Unbelievable. Maybe I'm just trying to get the light enough to crop so I don't have to stand here with the thing. I can just stand out here and bitch about everything. Let's see. Because I'm fucking aggravated and like crazy, man. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Of course, I'm pissed off. I wasted, what, 100 hours probably? Or more just in the last couple months. It's always this way. And they're doing it on purpose. They're pissing me off so fucking bad. They're trying to frustrate me, and then I'll go away. So of course that's what there's all kinds of techniques of fucking pissing people off.
Fantastic place. And for me, I so believe that it's important that we hang on to all of that. Now, we all know that right across the world, countries are being attacked by globalists who, for whatever odd and perverse reasons, believe that there should be no nations, no countries, that there is just a one way of doing things, a top down concept of everything from culture to health to technology. And clearly, to any thinking person out there, to any thinking man, this has to be a nonsense, doesn't it? That wherever you are in the world is going to be different. You're going to react to things differently because of the geology, your history, your traditions, and of course the weather. It's going to make such a big difference. And yet these globalists believe that they have the solution for this planet. And of course, many people now are waking up to this concept. And
Yeah, see what I mean? So, he uses the word planet. He won't use the word Earth, which is that's what I do. I'm not calling this a planet. It's not a fucking planet. You're all fucking nuts. So then he'll also throws in the word chem something or others instead of using the word mineral streets. He's all about it. The World Economic Forum. He's all big on, see, World Economic Forum, right? So there's nothing economical about it. It's not a world and it's not a forum. It's all bullshit. Everything out of these people's mouths is a fucking lie, and Richard's just going right along with it. But I'm going to finish this series for you, Richard. I'm going to finish this series because I want to be able to throw it in your face at a later day. And now now you start being called Tricky Dicky because now I know that you're up to no good. I told you that halfway through this series. I said, I'll know if you're whose side you're on by your terminology, what words you're using, and you can try to say that you didn't come and see the videos yet, and you don't even know I exist or anything. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. That's why I didn't even have to label your series because I already had known that you came to this series that I'm making for you, and you were already watching the videos. I knew that. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't have to question. I don't have to ask anybody. I already knew it. So therefore you to go and do this for these last 6 to 8 videos, you're all fucking World Economic Forum yourself. You're just working for them. So, and that explains so much. It explains so much. That's why I was feeling bad for you in the beginning of the series that I'm making for you. You can see how bad I was feeling for you. I'm thinking, oh my God, he's being so, he's accidentally selling himself out. He doesn't realize that they're fucking, no, you realize it. You obviously realize it. You're part of it. Just like Elon Musk is part of it. And that's why you throw around names such as a lot of the people that I called out, right? Joe Rogan, I've heard you talk about. Jordan Peterson, I've heard you talk about. These different. So you're another one of them, right? So you're another one of them. So you're not on the side of the Economic Forum. Well, let me let you in on a little secret, buddy. They're all a fucking part of the same scam. They're all part of it. So they work both sides, all sides for that matter, not just both sides, because there's both sides to every subject, and there are many, many subjects. So they work both sides of every subject, just like you are doing right now. You're part of it.
And thinking, no, actually, this is not what we want. And there is a great pushback, and quite rightly so. This country is important to me because it's unique, like so many other countries. And at one time we were proud to fly our flag, despite certain things in our history that we've got wrong. You're never going to get everything right. You're going to make mistakes.
No, you've got everything wrong. You're bitching about cars. You and Jeff buys cars are bitching about the cars coming off the road and all that shit. Well, we all fucking know that over the years there have been many combustion engines, if you wanted to stick with combustion engines, that would run on all kinds of shit. We had some that ran on water. We had some running the engines alone now, mind you. Not the driving on rubber tires, which is also could have been avoided and prevented. We never needed any of that. First of all, no one's using the true creator's energy except for a very small few. You want to call them chems, whatever you call them, chem somethings or others. Yeah, bullshit. They're mineral streets. They've been around for a long, long time, and humans have been controlling the weather for a long, long time. It was more of a secret now than it ever was 1,000 years ago, even just 1,000 years ago. They were already doing it. They already knew how to use it and control weather. Don't you watch? I thought you were a big movie buff guy, right? You watch enough movies. As a matter of fact, television shows, American television shows, talk about it all the time. They gave you the ingredients, the Freemasony, Illuminati-ish fuckers that run the television broadcasting and the news and everything else. They tell you. In one breath, they tell you the truth, and in the next breath, they tell you it's Mother Nature that caused all these hurricanes, tornadoes, rain, wind, Mother Nature. They fucking lying motherfuckers, man, to everybody. It's a bad day for me to be doing videos.
Life is a learning curve after all. But I'm very proud of this country, and I don't like the way that it is being changed and manipulated. We've seen over the years.
So you like the spinning whip pararocket ball lies. You're happy with all those. You're happy with all the space lies. You're happy with all the automotive bullshit stories, right, Richard? Tricky Ricky Dicky? You're okay with all that shit. And then I'm watching you talk about when I first started doing your series about the 4 cameras. Somebody went and cut the wires on 4 cameras. No conversation about the fact that there's tens of thousands of cameras that are up all over the fucking city, right? No talk about those. So wait a minute. So you cut 4 cameras out of tens of thousands of cameras. 4 of them got cut. And you're talking about it, and that's news. And these bad guys, don't do that. Don't go cutting cameras because we don't want to be part of that. I mean, it's so fucking stupid, man. I mean, see through you guys, unbelievably. So that all that stuff in their past history, you're happy to go along with. All the fucking anarchies and monarchies and shit that your English culture comes from, you're okay with all those lies. That's all right. But these new lies that are coming up, them you got to think about a little bit. You got to make sure I'm glad somebody's out there that took out these 4 cameras, 4 fucking cameras out of tens of thousands of cameras. It's so stupid, man.
Years, of course, how so many aspects of life have been taken over by corporations. We see that in, say, the food industry. Large corporations are telling us how we should eat. They're not telling us in so many words, but the way that food has been commoditized and it being processed into more and more enticing and convenient types of foodstuffs, and that our choice has been eradicated. You may think you have a choice when you go into the supermarket and you have a look and you think, wow, it's got a huge array of items there. But when you drill down and you realize the companies that are providing most of this stuff are actually owned by parent companies, and those parent companies are owned by mass corporations. And in fact, they're all like some big pyramid. They come back to one or two big companies who are making all the money. And again, it's this sort of top-down thing. We see it on the high street. The small independent shops are slowly disappearing and have been disappearing rapidly over the last 20, 30 years, that now it's very difficult.
Okay, everybody, anybody that's watching these videos, at least anyways. All right, so we got these two moons up here. This is the way that this works. I'm trying to show you this. So this is important for anyone watching my videos to watch this part. Watch what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 minutes with these two moons, because they're going to lock into each other. Now, the specific moon that I'm giving you has no crescent in it, you'll notice. There's no shadow. I'm not putting the shadow in there, right? Purposely. Because this particular full moon is an April 1st moon. It's a April Fool's Day moon. April 1st is actually the first day of the year, and it's a full moon. I don't care what the hell they tell you, it's a full moon on that day. So, here's your full moon. Right? So you got two photographs of this full moon. Put one behind the other. Take the one on the right, put it behind the other one in your mind, right? I'm putting them side by side so we can watch it happen. We can definitely do it because I've done it before. I've done other videos in the past, and I didn't even know why I was doing it. I didn't even know why it was that important. I kept telling you guys, take moon photographs, put them up to each other. One from one side of the earth, another moon photograph from another part of the earth. Take them and put them on top of each other and line them up line to line with some light behind them. And when you do that, and what you're going to notice is that these fucking lines line up line to line. That tells you a lot of things, especially when they're two photos from two different parts of the earth. Now do that again and again and again and again with many other moon photographs, and you'll see what I've become to see now. Okay, so as the moon's going around in a clockwise rotation around the Earth, it's taking the energies down from the stationary stars, comes through the moon, down through the Earth, and as it's turning, it's locking coordinates. Click, click, click is the sound that I make and the noise that I make. But I'm doing that for you here with this because I have this one on a turntable using a clock by the seconds hand of a clock is what's ticking in the background there that you can barely hear it over my swearing and being pissed off today. All right, so I'm waiting because I want you all to see this for yourselves, and I'm hoping that this video don't get any. It doesn't even fucking matter. I don't even care. They go ahead and copyright me or shut my videos, delete them, you fucking pricks, because I'm just gonna fucking make them better every time anyway. So, all right, so let's go right there for the time being. I'm going to move the light in a few minutes because I know my timing on this. All right, so what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the birth of all energies that are going to be born to the bio realm. Trees, frogs, deer, even things that are not feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast are going to be born to these energies, okay? So we're all part of this. So think of things that are born. The metellus, the biometellus are all born. These are insects, bugs. They're all assigned energies as well as the rest of us. So I know, it goes against everything you've ever heard, learned, thought, taught, program. I know. How could you say that the bugs are just as important as, I'm not saying they're as important. We have obviously have a conscious mind that is totally useless because we go along with all the programming that anybody fucking programs us with. So what the hell's the sense of having a conscious mind with open individual thoughts? Because it's all controlled by the fucking scumbags that are running the show. All right. So, hold on a minute. I want to make sure that when this comes around, you guys are getting this good. I'm going to have to move this over here for a little bit. Okay. That'll get me by for a few minutes so I can still talk. Okay, so as this is coming around, remember, we're on April 1st. Whatever year, I'm not even going to say because Those are different timelines. The timelines I'm going for right now is just when this locks in, you're going to tell me, you're going to look at it yourself, and you're going to tell me when it locks into April 1st. Every year it's going to lock in at the same time. And what it's locking into, like I explained to you, is the energy coming down from the stationary stars. That energy comes down through the moon. Moon acts as a voltage regulator. I'm calling it a voltage regulator, but it's not actually voltage. It's electromagnetic nanocarbon system, so you figure it out, right? So I'm just calling it voltage. We don't even need voltage. Voltage is way too much energy. We don't even need it. It's a huge waste of energy. But it works out good for the human fucking slave masters that want to enslave everybody to the fake system that they've derived here. All right, so anyways, now you know the date. You know the date. April 1st. Now that's going to go again. You think January 1st is the first day of every year. And that's what you go by. You're going by a human clock. You're going by 12 months out of the year when really there's no such thing as zero. So therefore, there are no 12 months in a fucking year. They've totally fucked up everything by adding the zero and infinity. And I can't even get any of you to even believe me, because it sounds so drastic. What's he talking about? No zeros and oh my god, he's a fucking Looney Tune. No man, I'm the only fucking one that's telling you anything straight. It's nothing Looney Tune about it. You've just been living by these lies for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years at this point, and then every time they have one of these resets, you guys all get smartened up again, and we come back and everybody's even smarter than the last fucking time.
To have a shop on the high street that you can be unique and have individually made items from anywhere across the world and all in a shop because of the high rates. We've seen how large chain stores have come in. If there's a grocery shop, a large chain store has come in, and because of their buying power and their purchasing power and their supposedly huge array of items, has made things apparently cheaper and more convenient and nicer. And so the smaller shops are effectively bought away because they can't compete. We've seen it in farming. We've seen how the farming industry that started as a way of life, as small farms, mixed farms, circular farms in which they were sustainable farms but also be able to provide for the communities around them, have expanded. Hedgerows have grown, have been taken out rather, and that larger companies now operate many of these farms, that they grow monoculture in the idea that they're trying to feed the world. And every time I mention this sort of thing, I'm being criticised by people who say, "Oh, Richard, you don't understand how farming works." And that is not true, because I've read a number of books actually from the old days of how farming works. And yes, it was hard and difficult. It was a way of life, and people were on the land and they loved it. And well, not all of them loved it, of course. That's all they knew. But there was a community and a spirit. Now that spirit seems to have been gone. Machinery has replaced the people, and the actual food that's grown is not as wholesome and as good for us as we think. We've seen all the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, the nitrogen that is being placed onto to grow food, that is seeping into the waters and everywhere else. The fact that there are no farms that have the animals and the grain.
You have no idea, Richard, how fucking wrong you are and how off you are on so many things. And I was gonna be nice about, doing the series to you, even if I did find out. But if I'm learning now that you're a purposeful lying scum, then I don't have to be nice anymore about any of it. All right, look, I'm just gonna name off a few things, just a few things, because you bringing up the food and the agriculture and all that shit, right? Okay, we used to spray our tobacco and our food down with something that all of a sudden people said was poison. Kind of like they're doing with the climate change nonsense, right? They're all of a sudden a bunch of fucking scientists and geniuses and they all know everything. So they're telling us about, they did the same thing with many, many, many things. So some of them, asbestos was one of them, lead was one of them. Two things that were helping us in our society and helping us because they were beneficial to our electromagnetic selves. Let's put it that way. And our electromagnetic systems. For many, many reasons, they were beneficial. but they made them illegal. They took them out. They did it, all this shit, right? Then you look at what they did with our plumbing. Our plumbing, copper pipes, lead pipes, all the heavy metals that were acting as a magnet when they were used together in a home. So together you had electrical wires, conduit, copper and aluminum wires coming through houses, and they were, are they, yeah, some are aluminum, and then you got to remember aluminum's carrying current different than copper and all that kind of shit. And then you also have other metals, other heavy metals that are in the wires. So they're going through the homes. Then you got copper pipes coming in the homes. Then you got um, iron and lead pipes that are leaving the home, right, to go out for sewage and all these things. All these things were beneficial to our electromagnetic cells. We were painting with lead paint on the inside of our homes. And then that lead paint, along with the asbestos shingles that were on the outside, were the same benefit, electromagnetic benefits to the home to keep us safe from bad things, bad diseases, viruses, all these things that we don't want. They're just different strains of Metellus, all these diseases and viruses, but they were killing them for us. We didn't have to worry about it. We didn't have to go to the doctors and get a medicine to kill the fucking virus because our homes were killing the virus. What we were putting in our bodies, what we were eating and drinking every day was also at certain times in history killing these bad things that are not good for us. But we took them away, just like you're talking about. So when they stopped spraying the crops with those particular sprays and telling everybody, and I'm not even allowed to say the names of them. I can't even say them because I know from my medical channel that I had set up that they'll fucking tear my channel down. They'll take the whole channel down if I talk about anything medical. They'll let me talk about the moon because they know no one's gonna look. They know no one's gonna fucking believe it. They'll let me talk about the mineral streets and show videos of it, but not without. I'm not calling them chemtrails. Oh my God, who is this fucking asshole? He's not following the rules. He's supposed to be calling them chemtrails so we can call him a conspiracy nut job, and and fuck with him. But no, I'm not. He's not doing that either. I'm gonna go somewhere there for the time being. I'm in a fucking bad mood. I don't even know what the hell time
Grain,
it is.
that you have cereal farms and vegetable market gardens. The whole industry has changed. And of course, the machinery and the mechanics have got huge and large and so expensive that actually you and I could no longer, should we wish to, be a farmer. We couldn't get into the farming game if we wanted to.
No, Richard, you're wrong. You're fucking wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. What they did was they started all these laws back, and you're talking about the Korean War again. I'll bring you back to that time period because I'm so bad at dates. But the things that happened, I do remember. And some of the things that happened during the Korean War and soon after was that the agriculture war went on to the agriculture, where FDA started coming in and they were going to take it out. So what did they do? They set up scams, just like they set up people like yourself right now, scam artists, to come on and say, oh, we really like farming, but we don't want to be sick. And this guy in Massachusetts got E. coli, and then. Now, I made videos about this before, and I talked about this because this is a true story. This is exactly how it happened. It was a guy in Worcester, England, probably, in your area, and then it was Worcester, Massachusetts, in our area. And then in Worcester, what they did was they had one fucking guy who got sick and died from eating the meat, and then his family got sick. They all ate the meat. Now this was from a local farmer, and we don't know where he went with the meat after he bought it. It could have been in his trunk. He could have went and visited with relatives. We don't know if it went into the refrigerator. Was his refrigerator even working? No. It's the farmer's fault, and we cannot risk this kind of death. So from now on, FDA, all farmers are going to have to start sending their food through the FDA. And then this went from meat to also plantation, to plant life, right? So then the farmers all of a sudden had to start doing the same thing with their plants that they were making them do with the meats, all meats, beef, pork, you name it, all beef. find a place for this thing. Okay. Um, and then they did the same thing with vegetation. And we had certain farmers that didn't want to spray with the new deadly toxins, so they of course put a scare tactic out on what we used to spray our fruits and vegetables and our tobacco down with, which killed the metellus properly. And this way, every time we were smoking a cigarette or smoking marijuana, which you should be no fucking problem with, because none of those statistics are true either. They're all fucking lies. You got 50% less smokers today than you did I used to use 30 years, but now it's been 40 years. 40 years ago. So 40 years ago, you had 50% more smokers, right? Now you look at the statistics today, and what they tell you is, again, a lie with that somehow they think makes it truth. It doesn't make it true, but this is what they claim. So go look up the statistics. They'll tell you that less people are dying of lung cancer today than they were 40 years ago. That's what they're going to tell you. And they're going to tell you a fairly large number. 20 something percent less people are dying today of lung cancer than they were 40 years ago. That'll be and they'll all be pumping it up and pumping it. But they're looking at it the wrong fucking way, because what it is less people are dying of lung cancer. But if you look at the statistics of how many people today have lung cancer compared to 40 years ago, look them up separately. How many people dying of lung cancer today? You have to look at the population growth as well, because in over 40 years our population has grown by billions of people, all the earth over. So you look at the population growth and you look at the people, less smokers there are, and all this kind of shit, and you put those two, which takes 10 minutes. You got your lying ass fucking Google. You can go Google the information. Yeah, they're lying motherfuckers, but you guys love them anyway, so go use them, and they're going to tell you the same statistics I'm telling you. So when you realize that, yes, there are less people dying of lung cancer, but yet lung cancer is up by 30-40%. The numbers are higher. So why is that? So if there's 50% less smokers, shouldn't there be less lung cancer? Well, of course not, because smoking was not the fucking giving us lung cancer. It was the funguses, the molds, all the other things. We always knew this. We knew what was causing pneumonias. We knew what was causing lung cancer. We always knew. But we fucking lied about it to ourselves, because it's just unbelievable. Everything